What's up, Red Sox Nation? My name is Mark Chikaris, and this is Sox Vlogs for April 11th, 2019. It is brought to you by Guy Boston Sports, GuyBostonSports.com. We get the fresh gear, as always, and check it out. Use promo code Chikaris10, CHEKARES 10, to get 10% off any order, especially with the playoffs ramping up for the Celtics and the Bruins. You got to check out Guy Boston Sports store. We got great gear for the playoff run. So today on Sox Vlogs, just gonna wrap up a little bit of the home opener. I attended the home opener on Tuesday. Absolutely freezing cold, 39 degrees. Was not ideal. Baseball weather, and then it started drizzling. I know people probably like, oh, boo-hoo, you went to the, we went to the ring ceremony. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. It was a great, it was a great ceremony. Game, on the other hand, that's a whole nother issue. We'll get to the game in a minute. Just real quick, as far as the ceremony went. So for those of you who didn't see it on TV, basically what they did was they didn't announce the players' names when they were getting their rings. They just kind of showed the ring with the player's name on it. It was kind of like twirling, right? And it showed the ring, and there was some applause. They went down the line, shook hands with everyone. 2004 Sox were there, 2007 Sox were there, 2013 Red Sox were there, in the true spirit of the championship season. And that was fine. That was really nice to see those guys get the ring, especially guys like Brandon Phillips, who had been in the league for a long time. Finally kind of get his ring, probably his swan song. I don't know if he's even going to bother to play anymore. But seeing guys like Brandon Phillips get a ring, that was super cool. Always a pleasure. A guy like Ryan Brazier was like totally beaming, just so happy. Basically right now acting as the Red Sox closer. He's come very far in a short period of time after not playing in the league for a while. Just real quick, observation on my part, when they started doing the starting lineups and announcing the rosters, my personal opinion, I think Dustin Pedroia got the most applause out of any of the players. I think people are psyched to see him back. I'm psyched to see him back. I think it's really going to solidify that lineup. I know he's hitting low in the lineup right now, but I think he's going to get back up near the top of the lineup once he starts heating up. JD Martinez also received a hell of a round of applause, which was also, that's kind of predictable. Kind of a surprise, Nathan Eovaldi. I guess it's not a surprise. I mean, everyone just glowing over his performance in the World Series. So I guess I get that, but that Nathan Eovaldi game, I know he pitched extremely well. Don't get me wrong. He pitched 6, scoreless innings, whatever he did. But the Nathan Eovaldi game is starting to feel like Game 6 of the 1975 World Series, where, before the Red Sox started winning championships, it was like, like that game, the Red Sox, that was like the greatest. They lost the World Series. Like, they won that game, but they lost the World Series. So yeah, it was a cool moment until the next day when they lost the game. Like, the Red Sox lost that game and they won the World Series. So I just don't understand why we're putting. I mean, was it a gritty performance? Absolutely. I don't know. I just don't see what the big deal is with the Nathan Eovaldi game. I mean, he pitched really, really well. He could have pitched really, really lousy. It wouldn't have mattered. They lost the game. But that's just me. So Nathan Eovaldi gets a round of applause. I'm being a fuddy-duddy. I know. We're gonna get to you, all you people who are like, oh, stop being negative. All you people, I'm gonna get to you in a second. All right. The other great performance, or the other great round of applause, came from Mookie Betts, of course. And probably the most round of applause went to Rob Gronkowski when he came out with the Patriots. But, that's to be expected. A lot of people have a problem with the Red Sox inviting the Patriots to opening day to celebrate both championships. I don't. I mean, that's small potatoes. Anytime I get to see Edelman and Mookie Betts hug each other, the two, basically two MVPs, Steve Pierce too, with Edelman, World Series champion, Super Bowl champion, hugging each other. I don't have any problems with that. So anyway, moving on. So as far as the game goes, Chris Sale pitched really poorly. And I just was listening to an interview with Alex Cora today, and Cora said some interesting things. about Sale, his starts so far, and what he thinks the kind of the deal is with Sale, because Sale admittedly says he feels lost this year. But just real quick, Cora said that Sale's breaking stuff isn't there. It's not so much his velocity. Opening day, again, 39 degrees, 40 degrees. He did a couple times crank it up to 95. Sure, it's not 98, but it's also April. And he said it's not so much the fastball, it's that he's not locating his breaking balls. And I really couldn't agree more with that analysis, because watching opening day and seeing that portion of the game where there were 2 wild pitches and then, the runner stole home, whatever. He's not locating that slider. That's his best pitch, probably one of the nastiest pitches in the game right now, as far as like the movement on that thing. And he just couldn't locate. He couldn't locate any of his pitches. So really, right now, I think it's location for him, and that harkens back to the fact that I really don't think the pitchers got enough innings in spring training. The starting pitchers, I don't think they even pitched 9 full. So, and I've mentioned that before, but he's got to get a feel for his breaking stuff, and if he does that, I think that the fastball will be there, and he'll be able to use that as well. But yeah, the slider, especially to lefties, it was just tailing away, going in the dirt, and he just wasn't hitting his spots. So hopefully Cora's assessment, that's it, and Sale can move on. He also said the Red Sox in general, they have to pitch better. They have to have better starting pitching, because some of the things they did last year, being aggressive, taking chances on the base paths, they're not able to do that this year because they're playing so far from behind. So that changes your whole approach to the game, which I also agree with. I mean, when you're behind by 3 runs, you don't want to take a chance with that hit and run, because you need to have guys on hoping that somebody can maybe pop a 3-run homer, or you can string together a couple of rallies to win the game. So that makes perfect sense too. And hopefully, once again, the starting pitching will improve, and you'll see the bats be able to do a little bit more than they've been doing as well. Cora also said the team needs to focus on details, and I feel like that's been missing too. I feel like so far this season, I've been watching the 2011 Red Sox in September, where every game I'm like, well, they're so talented, right? So every game you go into and you're like, oh, they're so talented. They can't lose today. They can't lose again. They have too much talent. How are they losing these games? And then they would lose again in 2011, and I'd be like, what the hell is going on? This can't be. And it started to slip away. And of course, they ended up actually finishing in 3rd place that year. I don't know if you guys remember that from that game that they lost in Baltimore. They slipped down to 3rd place, and of course, they missed the playoffs. If they would have won the game, they would have been in 2nd place. They would have made the playoffs. Yeah, they slipped down. Actually, they might have been in 1st place if they won that game. I don't remember correctly, but they would have made the playoffs if they won the game. They didn't, and they slipped down to 3rd place. I just feel like this, it's a very chicken and beer 2011, unfocused baseball that they're playing right now. No communication on fly balls, and Lou Merloni pointed out today that at one point on opening day, both Rafael Devers and Dustin Pedroia went to cover second. I think there was a shift on or something, and that's when one of the hit and runs went through, and it's just like, little details like that. And again, can't agree with you more, Cora, on that one. I feel like they're just playing sloppy ball, and they're not playing fundamental ball. Cora said something else interesting, which I loved. He said, any decent team in Major League Baseball is going to fall out of bed and win 81 games. He's like, the difference between winning, 81, 82 games and winning 95 games is attention to the little details, and keeping your focus on the little details during the season. Something that he admitted the Red Sox have to get back to, and I'm sure all of us as fans, we can agree to that too. Just one more thing, real quick. I saw a great tweet today, and it's by AJ at NC Sox, and AJ's Twitter avatar is Alfred E. Newman with a Red Sox hat on, so that's pretty cool. But this is something that's been bothering me for a long time, and it's he says there are 2 types of Red Sox Twitter today. 1, be calm. Anyone overreacting isn't a real fan. Number 2, the sky is on fire. If you're not panicking, you're not a real fan. And he writes, you know what? Be the fan you want to be, but stop condemning others for feeling what they want to feel. Okay? And absolutely, that might be my favorite tweet of all time, because some of you know, I'm going to post this on Facebook groups, and I'm going to post it on Twitter. As some of you know, some people in these groups, probably myself included, some of you, all right, are insufferable. All right, so if you feel I'm insufferable, all right, that's that. You know, again, that's your prerogative, that's your opinion. But I think he nailed it right on the head. Like, don't tell me how to feel as a fan, ever, okay? Because there are different things going on. The expectations from each fan are different. Some people are just going to love the Red Sox, you know, no matter what. Some people are critical of the Red Sox, which a lot of people confuse being critical with being negative. And I've harped on that ever since I started at Guy Boston Sports. You know, if you think a player should be playing better, if you know they have the talent and they're not performing, it's your right as a fan to criticize them and to point out, you know, Chris Sale right now is not pitching well. I mean, I don't know. Well, you got to give him, yeah, I am going to give him a chance. But right this minute, he is not pitching well, and he needs to pitch better if this team is going to go anywhere. So I love that whole, like, don't tell me how to be a fan thing. And I'll give you one more example, and I'll wrap up this Sox vlog for today. Opening day, my son had a baseball game at 6 o'clock. I live 45 minutes away. I had to be out of that stadium by 4. After one of the Toronto Blue Jays stole home, I was planning on staying for another half inning to try to watch the Red Sox bat, you know, maybe get a couple more runs. After the Toronto Blue Jays guy stole home, I took off. I was like, nope. And I got up, said goodbye to a buddy who sits near me in the bleachers. And, you know, I'm getting squawked at, you know, leaving so soon. Like, come on, you gotta keep the faith. No, I don't have to stay there. I already bought my ticket. Does it stink that I have to leave so soon? Sure it is. I got stuff to do. You know, I want to go see my son's baseball game more than the Red Sox. I'm sorry. So, fan judging, I call it the fan police. They're the fan police. So, don't be negative. Don't be negative. I can be negative if I want to be. Why can't I be negative? The Sox are 3-9. Okay? That's it. Okay? Don't be insufferable. Let people be fans how they want to be fans. And that's my advice to Red Sox Nation today. All right, so that is your Sox vlog for April 11th, 2019. My name is Mark Chikara. Sox Vlogs brought to you by Guy Boston Sports at GuyBostonSports.com. And stay tuned tomorrow for Balls Deep Red Sox Podcast, episode 41. We'll be breaking down more about opening day, the World Series rings we're going to talk about, and a couple other things on the docket, so you won't want to miss that. All right, have a great evening, everyone, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.